Now the next guy's not even a wrestler, but I think he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Hmm.
We got the one and only, the infamous, was involved in the screw job, Earl Hefner.
The greatest referee ever.
Yes, absolutely. For those that don't know the screw job, you should know the screw job. That's the infamous time when Shawn Michaels beat Bret Hart in Canada, his last match for the title. And Earl Hefner, boom, 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 told him to ring that bell. Shawn Michaels won. And Earl's been involved in so many major matches, but that's the
So
one that just
many.
sticks out.
Yes. So correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Earl Hefner a part of the Hulk Hogan Andre the Giant screw job too?
Oh my gosh, yep.
Yeah.
Damn,
Like
Earl's
his
been
twin
screwing
brother.
people for back in the day.
Yeah. Um, I think just because he left again, he's another one that left and went to AEW. I don't see how you let Earl Hefner leave though, because of everything he's done and how long he's been in WWE. Like, but yeah, I think if you're going to put a referee in there, he has to be the first one, hands down, without a doubt. He needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if the announcer was it Howard Finkel,
Howard Finkel.
if he's in it, come on now,
Yeah.
Earl Hefner needs to be in it.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
Absolutely. So the next one is another big man. I know him as Sid Vicious, but he goes by Psycho Sid. So how is Sid not in it, man?
I don't know. Like, they're I don't know who their committee is, but they kind of suck. Like they Sid, however you want to say it, he go with a bunch of different names: Sid Justice, Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid.
Yeah,
Anyway, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Like Sid has been in WWE, he's been in WCW, he's been in ECW, and again, he's one of those people that won titles in every company he's been with.
yeah,
So, and he's played a major role in every company he's been with. So I don't
absolutely.
see how you don't put him in the Hall of Fame.
I think of him. I think the master of the power bomb.
Uh, with
I
Vader,
see
yeah,
him sweating, his Jerry curl dripping,
yeah,
his eyes shaking, and he's talking all calm like Arn Anderson. And oh man, the guy was crazy.
yeah.
And unfortunately, when I think of him, I also think of that clip that, oh man, it's so hard to
Was
watch,
when he
where he
jumped off
jumps
the,
off the top
yeah,
rope and he lands and his foot is
yeah,
dangled. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
So yeah, that guy deserves a break, right? He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for real. So moving on, we've got Ken Shamrock. So Ken Shamrock's originally from UFC,
Hmm.
went to WWE. I think he made his mark. I think he played a major role. I'm surprised he's not in it, man. I don't know. What's your thoughts on Ken Shamrock?
Iffy. I don't think he was there long enough, honestly. Like I think the little time he had, he made a big impact, but I just don't think it was long enough.
Well,
Not
it
as
was
far as the Hall
definitely
of Fame.
longer than Bam Bam Bigelow.
No, Bam Bam was in there for years.
Well, WWE life, I guess.
Still, no. Bam Bam was there for a long time. Like Bam Bam was there for uh, Survivor Series. What he was on Hogan's team, so he's been there. He was there for a long time. Um, Ken Shamrock though, his I want to say his wrestling span wasn't long enough. Not for me. I liked him because he was kind of crazy, and when he snapped out, he kind of just snapped out. He had that gimmick, so I thought that was pretty cool. But I don't. if they didn't put him in the Hall of Fame, I wouldn't be like beating down doors for him to go.
I don't know. I think he deserves it. I think he's got the look. He had the skills. He had the crowd work. Wasn't much of a talker, but when he did snap, he had that crazy look in his face, and the
Yeah.
crowd loved it. Fed off that energy. I would love to see him in the Hall of Fame. I think it would be exciting. I think I'd love to see him, period, because I haven't seen him since he left, probably. I don't think he's even been, in the talks, in the spotlight whatsoever.
He's on interviews.
None that I've seen. I'd love, how they usually bring him back for like Royal Rumble as a surprise guest or whatever.
Like,
I'd love to see him get involved with something like that. I'm pretty sure the guy's still in shape. So we'll see. Maybe things will change. But the next guy definitely pulls at my heartstrings because he's one of the first wrestlers that I can remember as a kid just watching, like, oh man, this guy's cool.
huh?
Tatanka.
Mm.
How's Tatanka not in there? For me, correct me if I'm wrong, he's in the era of Ted DiBiase, Erwin R. Scheixner, Virgil. He's, big boss man. He's just part of that like clique kind of a thing where he should be in there. Why isn't Tatanka in the Hall of Fame? He's held belts, tag team. He's held the Intercontinental title. He's definitely a jobber in a good way. I remember him on Saturday Night Wrestling. He's been on Raw. Like, what's going on with that?
He's another one I don't think lasted long enough.
No, he's been in there for a while,
He
dude.
was there for a while, but he wasn't there. Like, he's one of those people that had his 5 minutes, and then once his 5 minutes was up, it literally was up. Like, he didn't do enough for me to be in the Hall of Fame. Like, he had a nice run for that year or so, but after that, it was like it was kind of forgettable, and he kind of went under the rug.
No, he's been in there with the greats. So he's been in there with the British Bulldog. He's had fights with Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, he
He's
had
been involved in Royal Rumbles. He's been tag team champion.
he
He's
had
he's
really
had
big
he's
things.
had some shine.
He had his biggest shine was not being defeated for like a year. That was his big thing. And then once he lost, it was like, okay, what do we do with him? Oh, well, let's now have him be a sellout for the $1 million man. Like,
Mm.
that involved the whole Lex Luger thing. Um, but I mean, after that, like, he really didn't have nothing. Like, I don't believe he won the Intercontinental title. He didn't. I don't think he won any title actually.
I can recall seeing him with gold. We definitely got to fact check that
Yeah,
because I've seen him hold the title.
I mean, he might have held it, but I don't think he had it.
He's like, this is photo op time. What about the next person on the list?
Yeah.
One of the all-time favorite managers, Mr.
Okay.
Slick Rick himself.
Travesty, he's not in there. That's ridiculous. Slick Rick is one of the greatest managers slash talkers you will ever find in wrestling. Like, he just, and his dance moves, his, now the people he managed was kind of questionable, but regardless of the fact, he still was a great manager. He was still great at entertaining people. Slick Rick should 100% be in the Hall of Fame without a question.
Yeah, Slick Rick's definitely amazing. He's definitely dope. He should be in there, especially if you have other managers like Mr. Fuji in there. He to me he's on that level, if not a little bit above Mr. Fuji. So I looked it up. So I did fact check for the first time ever on
Okay.
JK Theory. Tatanka did hold the Intercontinental Championship.
When?
WrestleMania 9 against Shawn Michaels.
He lost. He didn't win that match.
Hey, it's on Google, which I can't say anything. It's on Google.
Google
Moving on
why?
to the next one. We got the Dynamite Kid. Now, I know you're a big fan of the Dynamite Kid.
Oh, Dynamite Kid, yes.
So do you think he's one where because he hasn't had that many years in it, he just won't get it? Or do you think it's family?
I think because he was an asshole.
There's a lot of assholes in the WWE,
Yeah,
though.
but he was unfortunately he was a big one. He did, he did a lot of bullshit backstage, and uh, it's
Bullshit like Pat Patterson bullshit or some other bullshit.
like I'm tough guy, like bully type.
Haku?
Well, ain't nobody Haku. Uh, Haku, but you break it for a second. Haku wasn't really a bully. He was just one of those people like you
You
start
don't
with
mess
him.
with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Unfortunately, Dynamite Kid was kind of a bully
Mm,
backstage to people. Um, the one of the I I never got their names right, but the Rougeau brothers.
okay.
Um, he always tells the story. He's told the story about a trillion times about him and Dynamite Kid incidents and how he got fed up and he finally picked up like I think he had like quarters and he punched Dynamite Kid in the face because of all the bullying he did, and it kind of knocked out some of Dynamite's teeth, and that kind of stalled the whole Dynamite Kid thing. Um,
Right.
and plus, again, yeah, you're right. He wasn't in there technically, I guess, long enough for him to be in the Hall of Fame. Um, his influence, though, you see still to this day, like he was an amazing wrestler, one of the best out there. But I don't see him being in the Hall of Fame. If he does, it will be like they'll put the British Bulldogs in there with him and Davy Boy and the dog Matilda. You know what I'm saying? Like they
Gotcha.
they might do something like that. But as far as him being in there by himself, I can't see it happening.
Okay. Okay. So I did mention a guy earlier. I mentioned Pat Patterson,
Yeah.
and we might have to do a Hall of Fame that shouldn't be in there. And I put Pat on the top of my list, but that'll be another podcast.
Yeah.
So moving on, we've got Virgil. I think it's only right if Ted DiBiase and Erwin R. Scheichner's in there. Virgil's got to be in there. Virgil's more of the manager type to me, but he did wrestle. He got his hands dirty. So,
Yeah.
what do you feel about Virgil not being in there?
I can take it or leave it, honestly. Um,
I think it'd be cool to indict him and have indict him. Is that the right words? No.
no,
Anyway,
that's
have him in there. But have
induct
Ted
him.
DiBiase and IRS induct him. That's what it is. Induct him into the Hall of Fame. I think that would be amazing to see.
You know the problem I have with the Hall of Fame?
Hmm.
They don't do it when guys are alive.
Hmm.
Like Virgil just passed away.
Hmm.
Why wasn't he in the Hall of Fame before? Like,
Yeah.
what sense does that make? He's like, I know I said I can take it or leave it, and I can, but at the same time, if a person deserves it, he's been around. He was around for a very long time, and he played his role to the T. Like he was the bodyguard slash I don't know the help, I guess you could say.
Right. Yeah.
um, but he did his job. So people like that, people like Vader, it took him forever to put Vader. He went in there after he died. Like it makes no sense. Give these people their flowers while they're alive so they can appreciate it.
Exactly. Give them their flowers while they can smell them.
Exactly.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. Moving on. What about wow? And it's funny how you mentioned that. Now we go to someone that's not here anymore.
Okay.
Is Mabel.
Mm, Mabel.
Now Mabel was kind of interesting. Mabel was obviously a big guy.
Yeah.
I think WWE saw something in him.
Mm-hmm.
They played with his character a lot.
A lot. Yes.
I don't think he And unfortunately, well, I don't want to say unfortunately, but one of his biggest peaks was when he was with Doink and the clowns and stuff, and then when he went as Viscera.
Yeah.
But even before then, like for a big dude, he was agile.
Oh yeah, he
He
was.
could move in the ring.
Yeah.
And I recall the Undertaker saying that the reason we wanted him in our group is so we didn't have to fight him.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, that's interesting. But I think Mabel put his blood, sweat, and tears in the game. And if Taker's in there, I think that the Ministry should be in there, and Mabel should be highlighted as well.
I can see Mabel being in there. I don't think he won any major belts or anything like that. But you don't always have to win belts. If you play your roles right. Um, I think, like you said, he was multiple characters, and I think he hit most of them pretty well. Like when he started off as Man on a Mission with him and Mo and I can't even think of the other guy.
Oh man, Mo, I forgot all about him. Okay, okay.
Yeah, I think that was okay. I think once he hit like Viscera and he became king. Oh, he did. He won King of the Ring. King
King
Mabel.
Mabel. Yep.
King Mabel. So yeah, I think Mabel should be in there. Seeing as how some people are in there and they really didn't do a damn thing. Yeah, I can see where he should be in there.
Okay, okay. So tagging on to Mabel, we mentioned how one of his highlights was with Doink. There's Doink. Doink the
Don't.
Clown is not in the Hall of Fame, and Doink was an interesting character. He definitely caught people's attention.
Yes.
I loved his entrance, where it was the
Yeah.
happy-go-lucky, and then it went dark,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it was like, oh shit, like you don't want to piss him off. Like, now correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Repo Man Doink, or is that two different people?
Two different people.
Oh man, because they had like the same little sneaky walk and stuff. I always thought Repo Man and Doink was the same person.
Well, here's the thing. This is the funny part. They were and they wasn't. Um, I think after a while, the original Doink left, and they had him playing that character.
Okay.
Repo Man, and I gotta go back. I'm trying to remember, but I do believe Repo Man and the other Doink was one of the demolition guys. I believe it was Smash.
What?
I could be wrong. I'm trying to remember who played Repo Man. I do believe that though. Like we should fact check that one. Um, but if if I remember correctly, yeah, that was him playing Repo Man and eventually Doink at some point after the original Doink left. And
Okay.
I don't I don't think Doink will be in the Hall of Fame because so many people play Doink. Maybe if the original one, well, he's gone now, but and plus I heard he was kind of a dick too, but so I don't.
Yeah, I watched the Inside of the Ring thing, and it was.
Yeah,
But okay, so this is interesting, right? So you have Doink, which is a character
yeah, yep.
played by so many people. Can't
Mm.
the character just be
You know,
indicted? It doesn't have to be the original, right? I
true,
mean, you can honor Freddy Krueger and not honor Robert Englund,
but
or can you
how
not separate the two?
you can't separate them? You know what
You
I mean?
can't
Like,
honor Jason but not honor Kane Hodder.
no, it'd be almost impossible to do.
We are horror fans, by the way. If you guys haven't noticed on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
JKT. Okay, okay. So indicting. Okay, so it's kind of like you can't indict the Heartbreak Kid but not honor Shawn Michaels.
Yeah,
It
it's
one
impossible.
comes with the other.
Yeah.
I feel you. Okay, I can see that. I would like to see Doink in there. I think he played a major role. I loved him in the ring. I love
Yeah.
the battles he used to have with Jerry Lawler and the Hart Foundation,
Yeah.
and even him. I hate with a passion the new video games, the wrestling video games. I hate,
Yeah.
but I love the Sega Genesis video games for wrestling. So much easy to do, and Doink was one of the guys in there, and he was badass. I loved it. The whole I'm a friendly clown, and then it goes dark. I love
Yeah.
that image. It was
That was
cool.
perfect.
I'd like to see Doink in there. The next one is a female that I forgot to mention. I kind of wanted to group all the females together. Um, this was kind of weird for me because this is the kind of the time that I stopped watching wrestling for a little bit. But I know she played a major role, especially her husband played a major role. So I'm talking about Vicky Guerrero. So I'd like to get your input on that. Do you think Vicky played a big enough part to actually be in the Hall of Fame?
No.
So
I
even
mean,
though she was general manager and all that, do you think, okay, put it this way. Say she gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. I was about to say indicted again. I'm thinking about Trump. Anyway, inducted into the Hall of Fame. Um, would you take it as more of like, okay, they're doing this because her husband's Eddie Guerrero?
I would take it at that more.
Okay,
I mean, it wouldn't bother me if they put her in the Hall of Fame, but I have women in that should be in the Hall of Fame way before she should.
gotcha. Okay. So the next person I got is one of my favorites from ECW. I always thought he was going to make it into WWE and be a big star.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm kind of glad he just had his shine in ECW, and that's Sabu.
Oh, Sabu.
Man, he had them Aladdin pants and MC Hammer pants, and he was out there just flipping and oh man, he forget about it. He nobody can tell me that Matt and Jeff Hardy didn't watch him and try to copy their style a little bit or his style a little bit. So the guy was incredible. I love him to death. What are your thoughts? Should he be in the Hall of Fame?
100%. Sabu should definitely be in the Hall of Fame. There's not even a question. I honestly, if I was WWE, this is just me personally, I will put ECW have them in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? Like have a night where it's just like you put well RVD just got put in there, but Taz and Tommy Dreamer, Sabu, um, it's so
Al
many.
Snow. I don't know if
Al
he's in there yet, but I'd put Al Snow in there.
He's not. The Dudley Boys just got put in there a couple years ago, but you know what I'm saying? Like that ECW group, they should have been in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if you want to put them together, but
I would make a night of it. I'd make Paul
yeah,
Heyman
like
indict them and induct
exactly.
them. Damn, I keep saying indicted. I'd have Paul Heyman induct them in and make a whole spectacle, a spectacle of it. Like make it an
The
ECW night.
Sandman, they
Oh man, yeah.
they all deserve because they all played that part in ECW. Like they were a big role for ECW.
You
So
know what else too?
yeah,
They need to make a special thing. I know it sounds stupid, but this is ECW, bro. They need to put the fluorescent light bulb, the kendo stick, the table ladders and chairs and barbed wire in the Hall of Fame under ECW. Man, it got crazy, bro. It got
yeah,
insane. And I know that I got a lot of this from Japan, but we weren't seeing this. It
yeah,
was
yeah,
aired over here. It was ECW bringing all
yeah.
that craziness there. I remember seeing somebody light a table on fire and they're
Yep.
putting them through it. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, they did a
Insane.
lot.
Which I'm so excited for WWE going on Netflix next year. And I
Yeah,
hope they start pulling this crazy stuff again.
I think they definitely will. They're gonna do some stuff that's gonna be out of the ordinary for WWE.
You know that one video of Triple H has been like trending a lot. And I wonder if he's gonna do it again where he points out to the girl in the
Yeah, yeah,
crowd. Oh man. They need to do that.
they did.
Absolutely. Bring back DX for one night and just see what happens.
Yeah, you gonna have to. They gonna have to.
So that's our list right there as far as the wrestlers that we feel should be in the Hall of Fame that are not.
Mhm.
One wrestler I did leave out, and I kind of wanted to include him, but I just don't think he cut his teeth enough. But I love the Rockers. Like I love Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. Marty Jannetty's not in it, but I'm not gonna cry and whine about it. I understand why he's not in there. I would still put Chris Benoit over Marty Jannetty, so let's just leave it at that.
He's never
But
going.
hey, I know. I want to know what you guys think. You know, is there a wrestler that we should have mentioned? Is there something you agree with? What you don't agree with? Leave a comment. There's a rumor floating around that you wrestling fans don't leave comments, so prove them wrong and leave comments. Okay.
Please.
So hit that. Yes, absolutely. Hit that notification bell because that definitely helps the channel a lot.
Yes.
And if you want to reach out to us directly, hit us up at thejktheory@gmail.com. And until next time, I'm Jay.
I'm Kay.
And this is the JK Theory. Peace.
Peace.